Hey everybody, welcome to the Althea L1 embedded application workshop. And what we're going to do uh, over the course of this workshop is we're going to live code a very simple liquid infrastructure. But first off, um, what is liquid infrastructure? What is Althea L1? What is Althea? And I'm going to give that introduction with JR, who will be helping me out today.
Good morning, folks.
Cool. So let's see. Um, so Althea is an application for buying and selling bandwidth between routers programmatically. So it allows you to buy or sell individual bytes of data in sort of a streaming manner. So there's micropayments on average about 30 cents that are used to settle the movement of data in the system. And what Althea L1 is a platform for is a platform for micropayments and revenue generating devices. Meaning applications like the Althea bandwidth buying and selling protocol, or something like a vending machine, fast car charging, um, live streaming of media, generally anything that can be denominated as a small transaction that requires instant finality. And this takes us to liquid infrastructure. And liquid infrastructure is sort of the answer to the question of how do you manage a bunch of revenue generating on chain devices. So let's say I have a vending machine and it sells candy bars for USDC, and this settles onto Althea L1. There's the vending machine needs an address to pay, but I certainly don't want to care about the private key of the vending machine. Obviously, somebody could try and break into it. There's no need for the money to actually be held there. And ideally, I would like that wallet to be a cold wallet. But I may have many hundreds of vending machines that I'm managing, at which point doing it all one at a time would get rather tedious and extremely difficult to keep track of. And this is where liquid infrastructure comes in. Liquid infrastructure is a form of account abstraction that creates a NFT representation of a given account on the Althea L1 chain that would hold that account's revenue and give some control over it. So this defines a very simple transaction from the account in the Cosmos. So this phrase has two possible key interpretations. We sent tokens to the Cosmos one. Now we need to send it to the Ethermint one. And this will do that for us. So let's just go ahead and run it now. And this will hopefully do it all in one go, where we send the tokens from one account to another and then liquefy the account. Okay, so now we have successfully deployed this NFT in the Althea EVM. Now let me go and take a look at this via one of our. So this is an NFT address, and by default, that NFT address is going to be stored in this key phrase. So if you were to plug this into MetaMask, you would be able to go and manage that NFT just using MetaMask or any other Ethereum set of tools. We can also manage it using Clarity here, which I might get into, but we're running a little short on time. So I will leave that out since you can just use MetaMask or some existing tool for it. And frankly, the Clarity documentation is a little bit better. You'll notice if you just do. When you liquefy an account, the private key no longer matters all that much. Obviously, you still need it to send transactions, but what really manages the account is the liquid infrastructure NFT. So what that liquid infrastructure NFT is going to do is that it will allow you to configure the maximum balance of the liquefied account, um, and to claim income. So what will happen is that, let's say I were to send $5 to a liquefied account, and this account is configured with a working capital balance limit of $20. So the owner of the NFT says, hey, no more than $20 in this account. So I send $5 to the account and it doesn't have any balance. That $5 stays in the account and is still under the address here. But if I keep doing that, when the balance goes to exceed $20, that money will be locked up in the liquid infrastructure NFT and available for the holder of the NFT to claim. And what this means is that you can have a small amount of working capital in a liquid infrastructure wallet. It can make some payments, but in general, the funds are stored in the NFT, and the NFT holder gets to decide all of this, up to and including setting the working balance of the account down to zero. At which point all transactions going into the account would immediately be locked up into the NFT. Now, this only counts for, this feature is focused on the microtransaction type. So this would be here. So the microtransaction type is a specific type of transaction that gets priority on the Althea L1 chain inclusion because it's very simple and it pays a fee that is a percentage. So that's what makes it micro. You don't want to send $1 million if you have to pay a 5% fee on that $1 million. It would make sense to use the normal message. So yeah, I think that's a rough coverage of the liquid infrastructure tooling and how you would use it. Obviously, this is all still in testnet, so it's a bit of a prototype. So sorry for any rough edges, but hopefully this makes for a good introduction to the deep space library. We didn't really get to clarity today, and maybe I can follow that up next week, along with hopefully showing off the more simplified version of this with some cleaner utility functions for liquefying and sending microtransactions.